What's good, everybody? And today
we're
breaking through society.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And today is a very exciting episode because
we're welcomed and we have two special guests. Tom,
Yeah.
if you want to introduce
our
them for us.
Our two special guests, my two great friends from Stars of the Spectrum. Two great friends whom I've been listening to the music of like nonstop, working on a project I got with Jen Masumba, who's another good friend of mine. You know, without further ado, needs no introduction. Nico Vargas and NE10. Diego, NE10 Vargas.
Ooh.
Hello.
And the crowd goes crazy.
The crowd goes beautiful.
What's good, y'all? What's good? We're so honored to be here with y'all today.
We're honored to have y'all. Thank y'all for joining us and taking the time, for real.
You think it's your pleasure? It's our pleasure. You have no idea. But yeah, so again, with our podcast, with our little project, we're still breaking through society. We're still trying to like reconstruct people's perspective on autism spectrum disorder. And today's episode, I picked these two for a very special reason, and that's because they know who they are, who they want to be, what they want to do, the mark they want to make on the world. And that is why today's episode will be based on the theme of purpose and identity. Finding yourself in a world that really doesn't want you to, frankly. So I think for this episode specifically, I did have a few questions lined up, but before we get to that, why don't you tell us a bit about yourselves, give us an intro to your journey of self-discovery.
Well, I guess I can go first. So, hello, I'm Diego Vargas, aka under the producer name NE10. So, I'm a DJ, audio engineer, music producer, sound designer, and a songwriter. And so, with the years of discovery, long story short, it was basically about what the purpose is and how to use it.
Interesting.
How are you gonna follow up, Nico?
All right. So what's up, y'all? Nico Vargas here. I am a singer, songwriter, producer, and voiceover actor / actor. So
yeah, I saw what you did with The Simpsons.
The laugh, bro. The laugh is so iconic. I feel like you could just play like anybody with that laugh, bro.
Oh my God. Yo, thank you so much. I mean, wow, oh my gosh. I mean,
anyway, to make y'all laugh.
Marge Simpson.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're pretty neat.
And I have another alter ego, which is Krusty the Clown. And that may support that fan theory.
That Nico Vargas is secretly Krusty the Clown? Plot twist.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm just going crazy right here, you guys. I mean, I'm just going crazy right here. But anyway, I've always wanted to get into the entertainment industry, which it's now the reality. And I'm still working my way up and up and up and up. I'm still working my way up because humbly I say, like, yeah, there's a lot of work and I'm still learning. So as even as a performer myself, it's always been a learning experience, even as I get older. So it's been a blessing, y'all.
It's been a blessing to be y'all's friends. Every single one of y'all's in this call. It's been so good to get to know y'all's and be good, close friends. And that's always been nice. Again, literally, like before I hit record, to anyone watching right now, this background is literally from when I was streaming Big Walk with NE10. It was beautiful. And, I've had so many good conversations with both Diego and Nico at concerts. We've really found ourselves through music and, who we want to be, our purpose, our mission, our drive. And I think with autism especially, that is something that is very difficult because, I don't know, it's like my therapist would always say, the term autism actually comes from the German word for one, is in like one mind, like just separate from anyone else. Like literally it's your own thing kind of deal.
Hmm.
So to put it in a sense, I guess, when you're born, when you're like, first small child just growing up, there's a lot of like sort of like common sense, a lot of like instincts, a lot of thought process that is just kind of baked into your brain the moment you're born. With autism, you don't really have that, you don't really like right off the bat know what you're doing. You kind of have to figure a lot out for yourself, and that makes life very difficult. Even something like, I know I've spoken with a few people with autism before who like, have delayed speech or something, or struggle understanding words. That is a very, very real thing with people with autism. And so to see both of you, like Diego and Nico, be the person you are today, and the person you will become, that's always been a huge inspiration for me, I would say. That really, because again, you never have the pieces with autism. You just kind of have your own. You have that one mind. And that is one of the
Absolutely.
biggest struggles
Amen.
growing up with autism. That is literally one of the
Amen, brother.
biggest struggles growing up with autism. And I think to, get to the interesting stuff, get to the meat and potatoes, I do have a few of these questions here. I think starting off, just to like, get into the interesting stuff, I'd like to know, for both of y'all's, where would you say your journey of self-discovery really began? Like, what really sparked your interest in like sound design or voice acting, or like, what was that like key moment? I'm a big gamer. Mine was playing Spyro the Dragon at my grandmother's house. The floor is yours.
Yeah.
As a singer songwriter and producer, well, first I didn't even know it at the time, but back in 2006, at 7 years old, I just happened to start playing the piano and singing out of nowhere. Now, mind you, it was all from him, the Almighty Father above. And then, couple of years later, at age 9, that's when formally I got into like formal training in a sense. And then at that time, at one of the piano stores in our hometown, there was this one instructor. Now understandably, they had a limited curriculum at the time, but I didn't know like how to navigate through all of it, because for one, I was it was so innate as people described it, and I end up towards the end of the program, by the winter of 2008, there was going to be a piano recital going on at that same piano store. And yet I kept fighting and fighting and fighting to play Journeys faithfully during that recital. And that was not even planned, and that was not even an itinerary.
And so you just randomly
So
decided you really wanted to start believing one day, and you just played Journey.
I did, because I grew up with Vicente Fernandez, Journey, of course, Garth Brooks,
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, tons of
yeah.
great artists ahead of our time.
Honestly, like, I'm gonna be real, just having that like baked into your mind to be able to play the piano right away. Like, I can do, like, people always, I'll be the first to admit, people call me a fast learner. I am thoroughly surprised that you were able to pick up the piano just like that. But that is to say, I'm so proud. I just want to let you know I'm proud. I just want to. But yeah.
Yeah, sure. Diego?
So, as it started out, and actually, Reese. There goes my vocal stimming. So I started out. One is like, shoot. I looked into other CDs at the time, and I'm pretty sure younger folks listening to this podcast may not remember what CDs are, but with compact discs. But it's like, man, those are actually getting pretty old. I'm not kidding.
And my uncle still has CDs that he plays, like when he picks me up when he comes from Arizona, and he still has like the old, early 2000s Suburban. I think it's 2000. I think it's older than me. And you know. So yeah, man, it's just nostalgic, you know.
Even for just like having like a large collection of CDs, like I was looking back at this, like, wow, it all started because I collect different CDs, and I thought like, hey, what if I just listen to something else, like electronic music? So then I
Okay.
started off with like Skrillex, Armin van Buuren, Benny Benassi,
Okay.
Tiesto, kind of like the older kind of DJs, like from the '90s. So I was intrigued by that. It's like, wow, holy cow. And in
Okay.
Discovery, it's more of like, funny enough, when I was 13, I thought like, you know what? I want to become a DJ. So getting a little controller that was like what, $200? Like, I mean, it. Granted, I was very thankful about what I got, and all I did is just from that time was play a little bit of block parties in a neighborhood. So
Okay.
that was fun. At least we
That's
did it in a
cool.
garage. So that was like that was the time. And of course, discovering through all the music, like in and out, like was from like the Spanish, the hip hop, the classic rock, basically on the older stuff. But with the newer, it's more like I went kind of further down, not by accident, but by will. So it's more of
Okay.
like, okay, I kind of curious. What if I go this lane? So you know what the experimental dubstep scene is more like, whoa, how the heck did they do that? So my mind just went like curious alert, ultra curious alert. So then that's what sparked into like, okay, I want to make stuff like this because like
Okay.
it gives me a little bit, or what do you call it? You know, like how you like to get scratched from the back, or more like someone gives you a massage. It's more like the
Uh,
brain's. It's more like a brain's getting tickled and massaged
yeah.
to rattled.
Mm,
Okay, I feel you. Yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely self-discovery. And again, I remember when I was a kid, I literally like, for good behavior, my mom would reward me with like Daft Punk CDs. So that all took me back so hard. That story and that
Hey.
drive to be rattled, to be thoughtful, to be like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I just like all these DJs. I want to do that too. I tried doing that with fighting games. I'm still getting there. Justin Wong said hi to me once. That is actually canon. He's a very
Sweet.
famous player.
Oh,
But he
sweet.
did. I
Hey.
have a picture with Justin Wong and it's amazing. But I remember back in the
Wow.
day, I actually I think it was around when Smash came out. I started watching a lot of Smash Ultimate. I started watching a lot of Smash Ultimate videos back in the day, and I'm like seeing all this stuff about tech and like tier lists and like competitive matches, and like I saw that stuff before, but like once I really like started to get into like why a lot of that like was like so thoughtful, why it's so interesting, it really started to click with me. I'm like, you know what, this is a fascinating medium. And then I got really into fighting games. Now I buy like every single release each year. Not the season
Mm.
passes. I can't really, I need to keep all my fingers. I can't really cut them off, unfortunately, for monies,
Ugh.
sadly. But thankfully, I do really like fighting it. But that's kind of how I'm tying it in. I'm like, I want to do those combos too. So then I booted up DNF Duel, and I'm like, I'll get there when I get there. I definitely feel that.
I forgot to mention the initial part of why I got into voice acting. I forgot that
Oh,
part. Ah,
we can't forget that
my
part.
lord.
That's too important.
Yeah, that's way too
That's what
important.
we're here for.
Way too important.
You stole it.
Just because I
floor is yours.
naturally got into it, just because like back then when I was so obsessed with the video game from PS2, that's The Simpsons Hit and Run. I used to
yeah.
repeat those lines
Oh.
for Simpson. Like, yo,
That game was
I
hard
used to
back in the
repeat those
day.
lines so many times to the point where it would annoy the living heck out of my parents, and they
Oh,
would
yeah.
like take away the game, or but I'm like, I
think-
understand why.
I think anyone with autism has definitely been there at some point in their lives.
Facts.
And repeating
Yes.
movie lines, and we're trying to like
Yeah.
it match their voice together, and it just piece by piece by piece. And
God
it's just
forbid
like,
they
I need
watch
to get
SpongeBob.
out. Who
Dude,
knows?
the one scene from Phantom of the Opera where Raoul and the Phantom fight, bro. I used to be like reenacting that scene like on my living room when I was a kid, bro. Like just running around, dude. I used to rewatch that scene over and over again. My mom used to tell me that like I would rewatch scenes over and over again and act them out. Like when
Okay.
like the Joseph one. Like where he has the colored dream coat and he falls into the pit, and I would be doing that, and then I would like have the pose where I'm like in the jail cell, and I'm like singing in the jail cell. I'm like singing, what's his name, Donny Osmond or whatever.
Oh my God! Our parents would they remember too that Diego and I would repeat the same movie lines over and over and over and rewatch them so many so many times to where we were like, are we auditioning for a studio or what?
Yeah. Actually, I did theater at like a really young age because of that. I think.
Yeah, bro.
Man,
wow.
you might be auditioning for a studio if you have a massive amount of echolalia for a kid's version of GTA.
That would be crazy.
The Simpsons hidden. I mean, they basically got Lego City Undercover. Does that count? That's GTA that game's fire. That game's fire.
Oh yeah, man. Okay, I was gonna say. Speaking of theater too, I did voice acting. That was my very first voice acting gig when back in high school, senior year, if I'm not mistaken. Senior year, that 2017, I portrayed as Audrey 2, that plant that craves blood. I mean,
Little Shop of
and flesh
Horrors.
is part of it too, but it got me thinking like, am I really playing this character in reality, or like it was such a paradox. Like for me, I was like, I'm like,
Dude, I would
that's
have
true.
loved
That
to see you
tripped
play.
me out by the time like I trying to like by the time that I was looking over the soundtrack album from the Broadway one, I was trying to copy or not necessarily copy, but derive from its cast at the time of Audrey 2. So then I try to perfect it bit by bit. So then when I auditioned for that role, basically I'm like that's when I kind of beat out most of the of other actors from that other school where they would commonly go earlier on. So I thought, making a difference, ain't I?
Yeah. That's
Nice.
I
So
would have
like,
loved to
it's like
see
we're
you.
breaking the mold.
I would have loved to see you play Audrey 2 in Little Shop of Horrors. That would have been amazing. I wish I could have sung that. I even when I was a kid, I don't even know why, but like for some reason when I was a kid, like I was also a theater kid, and I remember one of the roles that I was most praised for. You'll never actually guess what it was, but it was actually like it was legit the role that like people were blown away by. It was like A Christmas Carol, and I was playing the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Of all things, I was playing like Dark Grim Reaper, dude, with no face and all that stuff. I was like had to be a big, deep, ominous voice, and for some reason, that was like one of my most praised roles I've ever like. I've done, like I've had like not main stage kind of deal roles. Like I've had like some stuff in theater, but like people would come up to me after doing like the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and they'd be like, "Bruh, your performance was mind blowing. I'm so proud of you for being this terrifying figure."
That's crazy.
Telling the main character he's gonna die if he doesn't believe in Christmas, and it worked. Of all things, that was so beautiful. But
and during that run on Little Shop of Horrors, I remember there was this one assembly performance of which those elementary school kids were coming to the high school at the time. So one of the audience members was actually my cousin. I think he was like he just turned 11 years old at the time, but he didn't know that I was portraying Audrey 2. I told him nothing about that, and so when I came out during the curtain call, he was like, "What?"
Plot twist. Your brother was the plant that ate everyone. The cousin.
Yeah.
That was like,
There was no getting out of it
I
that
was
time.
so shocked by the time I came out of the curtain call. Then I'm like, oh, that's a fun part right there to shock people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in a good way like that. And I could still, that voice, I could still do like 9 years, 9 years later. Feed me.
That's basically your voice, and it works so perfectly.
Feed me.
It
Yeah.
That is so true.
is so
Feed me,
beautiful.
Girlborn. Feed me. No.
But yeah.
If you Roseville Heights folks are seeing this, welcome to that world. Welcome to the future.
I know, right?
Welcome to the future.
But yeah, I think definitely kind of like, segueing off of theater performances. I think as each of us as performers, I think each and every one of us we definitely know how it feels to be up on stage, like it's just such like this like powerful release. It's such this like strong like intrinsic energy of you doing what you're there to do. It's often your own work, or it's often your own portrayal of someone's work in your own way. It's always some form of self-expression when you're up there on stage, and I think that's like such an important factor to consider, especially with autism, especially with purpose and identity, is sort of that intrinsic factor, is sort of having that moment where even if you're playing a character, you're discovering yourself, almost like an angle of it up there on stage as that character, and you're just like, you realize so much about yourself through that sort of like just being up on stage doing a performance. And I kind of want to know, I think the next question I have is like, what intrinsic factors really matter to you that much? Like, what really made you when you were up there on stage? Like, what was it inside that's like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is my purpose, this is what... If you want to go back to any 10, like, who just scratched your back until shook you like Shrek did Fiona when they first met? Like, we need to know. Like, we got to do some soul searching if we need, but like intrinsic factors that really helped us discover ourselves when we perform.
So, in the purpose of all of these things, especially as a DJ, in reading psychology for the people either that you're catering, or on the other side when you flip a script, people seeing you. They both kind of work in a very similar way. So, of course, performance wise, it's more of like it's either you're always on your feet or you're in a natural flow state. So, or unless you're in between those, then it's more of like, what the heck are you doing? And you get kind of scrambled kind of naturally. And albeit that tends to be okay, in certain cases, but most of the times, kind of not really. But especially for those who, especially like I tend to be really hyper focused to where you're not aware of the surroundings anymore. It's more of like, have you ever seen the movie Soul from Disney?
Yes, I have. It's beautiful. It was so much better on the second watch.
Yes. So it's more of like you're in this flow state to where like you don't care about everything else that's around you. Like, especially and I know I may seem like I'm trying to pump up a crowd, plus twisting knobs, plus pulling down faders. Like up front, people don't know what you're twisting, or they don't know what you're seeing, but it looks very impressive. But also in the back end, it's more of like I'm subconsciously trying to pull something here. So I guess the way I'm trying to put it in perspective is because even though the hyperfocus is there, sometimes there's a lack of awareness in terms of everything else. Like, how's the crowd going to react? What is their, like, how are people going to respond to what you did? Like whether it's like a singer, like make it like belting off, or it's a great transition, or in range for like, sometimes people mess up and things happen. So like even I mess up, and of course, whether like I messed up a transition, it sounds really bad, or not everything's in sync, or when a singer kind of like got his voice very tired, like I hear that, and of course, I see people either like who are very forgiving or they're like, oh. But it's a matter of like how you internally take it. And I can see where all sides actually come at it.
Everyone's a different person up on stage, you know? And I think that's a beauty of
Absolutely.
it. Especially when it comes to autism. Because again, autism is part of you, it's part of who you are, and it's part of what makes you even up on stage. So I think having that as an angle of like literally like even in the movie, you know? Like in Soul. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. He wanted jazz. That's everything to him. Because in those moments, everything else was just like a giant purple blob. It's literally like words.
Yeah.
You can't really put it into anything else. So I think that's definitely like a very thoughtful perspective on it, especially when autism is in the equation. I don't know. For me personally, I feel like that purple void almost becomes like almost like a weird mixture of rainbow, looking like some sort of weird jam type of thing. But I guess through everyone's eyes, it's all seeing something different, you know.
I can't even put it into just one niche sentence. I can't put it all just in one. I can't condense any of that. But what I can say is it's a lot of lessons that I've learned ever since getting on stage. Like, yeah, given that being yourself, yes, but also on top of that, being able to read the crowd. Now that I didn't know for my first few years of performing, because in my first initial years of performing, yeah, I was with the school band and whatnot. I mean the concert band, not like band where it's like drums, guitar, piano, etc. But like even as a solo artist, you got to like not just sing the songs that you want, but also getting to know the people out there in the audience, whether of any age or any race, and something that could, and not to say that you should like cater to them to where you lose yourself, and that's a conscious thing that I have to learn the hard way too. So it's like, I mean, yeah, you when you're on stage for like let's say in show business, inevitably, yes, that is definitely a thing. You got to constantly be on the top of it every single time. So my kind of philosophy within is like you have to put it out as great or it is not so great. Because I have this like sometimes there are standards and self-imposed standards too. And my pitfalls within that is like sometimes pertains to overthinking it. That's one of the things I struggle with having self-imposed standards. But and that could also result into the comparisons. Now I've been through that for a very long time, but until I got into Stars of the Spectrum, I didn't know where I was gonna go. But until even with songwriting, of course, which I started in 2015 at age 16. And let me give a backstory behind that. Now, that was where it gave me the ability to create new worlds where people could see themselves in there. Now, how it all started is basically there was this one day that you remember Diego at Fig Gig in Fresno where we saw that cover band. I'm not going to say the name, but they've done basically all the covers. And so once I pictured myself up there, and I'm like, how am I gonna express myself through all of that? But meanwhile, I have something else in my mind. I have something to say. I don't know how this is gonna be done. And so the only thing that could be done is to write it out, structure it all down, and put out what you hear in your head. And so that no one else has imagined other than yourself. And that I do say it's a blessing though. With all that creative mindset coming from him, that is where all those frustrations and all those emotions like a vessel through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. You know, it all just happens up there. It's what's the one I always quote when I think about really anything? It's from Top Gun. If you think up there, you're dead. That's how that works. That's how that operates. If you think up there on stage, you die. If you think up there on stream, you die. If you think up there when you're playing Street Fighter, you die. If you think up there when you're pressing keys on a keyboard, you die. If you think up there, that's you're dead. That's the philosophy.
well
That's the design philosophy. Honestly, at this point, with like all that talking, I kind of want to get into some of my stuff. With honestly, I kind of want to have Reese and I give an answer at this point for that
Sure.
exact question. The intrinsic factor that really means everything up there. I'm gonna be real with y'all's. And this is coming from someone who literally was the person who edited the original Spectrum of Sound videos, was the person who went to all these events. I even saw Reese at Fenway Park. Like, I went to a lot of these shows. I went to a lot of these things. I did not whatsoever believe in my ability to sing. I thought it just sounded whiny and my voice cracked. And, like, at a certain point, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I just can't sing. Maybe that's just not something I'm good at, you know? That's what I always felt. But then there were a lot of times when I'd be in my house on my own and I'd listen to music and I'd start singing a lot. You know, if you guys even remember when I did Basket Case that one time, the reason I started doing Basket Case initially, like when I first performed that song for the first time, it was literally because, again, I was in my house on my own. No one could hear me. May as well sing my heart out. And also because I have like basically every like mental diagnosis ever. Like even beyond autism, there's like some OCD, there's like some ADHD. There's like it's like literally everything up here. It's so hard to control and stuff. So literally Basket Case is like literally a song about just going insane. So I just kept singing that. And then I did it so right that one day I just decided, you know what? There's like I got invited to do this live band karaoke thing for Flutie. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just do Basket Case? It's on the song list of songs they can do. They could do that. And so I told Liz that just kind of in passing. And then I was there. I think I was filming for like rehearsal, like behind the scenes stuff. And, you know, I was with the stars as they were performing. And so I sang Basket Case for everyone right as we got out. And everyone's like, bro, I didn't know you could sing. Like, you could actually do work. Like, you're actually a pretty good performer. And so that first time I remembered that as I got up on stage and I really commanded the audience and I had a whole video of it and I was up there, I was singing the song. It wasn't even like the same backing track. It was a very different one, honestly. And I was up there just commanding that presence. And then all my friends from my program just like got on down there and they're all just like, you know, just having like the time that they're giving me all the high fives, front row seat treatment. It was such a beautiful moment. And it was in that moment that I'm like, you know what? I always did like performing. I should try doing this music thing a little bit more. And I did the music thing a little bit more, honestly, because, again, I went to a few events, even with Reese back in the day. Like, he really helped me get into music, if anything. And nowadays, like, you know, that song I did with King Cam the Great, it's not out yet, I don't believe, but it's, I've gotten a lot of praise for that song. If I don't mean to toot my own horn there, but you know, that's really where I found myself was really just doing what I wanted to do, like literally just like tossing away shame, just like not even worrying about what people like. If people don't like me up there, if people don't want to see me perform, then that's their problem, you know? They're the ones who bought the ticket to see me. Like, they're in some part, they're there because I am performing in some part. If they're disappointed, it's not my problem. If I put my all into it, it's theirs. You know? So that's what I tell myself.
Absolutely.
And that really, again, helped me discover myself. And I think that's, like, since I've been performing, I've definitely felt a lot better about music. I've felt a lot more insightful about life. I feel like as someone who has trouble managing his thoughts, like the flow and rhythm of music, just following it at a steady pace really helps my mind. And I think that's something that deserves mention. I think it's like a really important part of my life now, and I think it's been so helpful just discovering myself through music, through y'all's really. And I think that's all been really good. But I think to round it out, Reese, you want to tell us about that intrinsic factor?
Man, I mean, well, part of it was like being exposed to like theater at a young age for sure. Like just being on stage. I remember like this the summer camp I used to go to, or just like the pre-K or whatever at the community center that I grew up going to. Like I always did like theater there and stuff like that. I remember one of my first roles was like Jiminy Cricket or something like that.
That's an amazing role for you,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, and I think my love of like just being on stage started like with my grandma, honestly, because my dad's mom, my bonbon, she used to take me to like all the plays and stuff like that, and I went to go see Lion King on Broadway and
Okay.
I seen Wicked on Broadway, like a bunch of other
Bro,
stuff.
lucky
So
you. I wish I could see Wicked. I've never
yeah,
seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Whoa.
yeah, I was like super young, but I still
Do you know if it
remember.
was when Elsa was Elphaba? Like back in the day?
No, I don't know.
Like you know
That was like
Elsa
early
from
2000s.
Frozen? Yeah, like back in the
Mhm.
day, like literally that's how you know the woman who plays Elsa in Frozen?
Indina
Yeah.
Menzel.
Yeah,
Nah, I didn't know.
her original I think her big break was as Elphaba in Wicked on Broadway. So you
Oh,
might have actually
dang, that's
seen her
crazy.
back then.
I remember that.
Dang, that's
But
fire.
I
I remember
remember
seeing Beauty on the Beast, and I had to walk out with my cousin because we got too scared when the Beast came on, and we started crying and stuff. Because like the effects,
Wow.
yeah, we were like
Oh.
really something crazy. But so yeah, I
Yeah.
think that just being on stage at a young age probably helped because like now when I go on stage, I don't really feel nervous when I'm on stage, only like before or like any of that stuff. But like once I actually get on stage, like I just love it. You know, I love every second of it, and I'm just kind of like in a state, in like a flow state. You know, of like just it's like one of the highest moments like ever. Like that's just where I feel good. I feel okay. I feel like no problems, like nothing, no worries. Like you know, no worries. Like the Lion King, me no worries. I feel like
For
that,
the
bro. Like
rest of your
just feel like
day.
nothing else matters, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, I feel
everything else
that
just
is
dissipates when you're on stage.
yeah. Bro, I think we're all in
Absolutely.
agreement on that. Even in our own ways of putting it, I think we're all in agreement on that. But I think the reason I wanted to like talk about that a bit is because autism is a factor. It very much is, and you know whether you're neurotypical or not, I think like everyone's got to find their own way somehow. You know, sometimes you know a guy, sometimes you meet a guy, sometimes you blow a few guys' minds. You know, it's not always, it's almost never an easy opportunity to land. And a lot of the times when people do land that opportunity, it's because they got lucky. Like I'd say each and every one of us kind of fall into that camp in some degree, you know? Like I just randomly sang Basket Case at like live band karaoke. Everyone loved it. Everyone's like, you should do this more often. And now my mom gets me singing lessons and guitar lessons and stuff, you know? Like literally, like that's just
For
how it
sure.
happens. And
I think what
yeah.
they say, like with it's a little bit of luck, and it's like a little bit of luck, but a lot of hard work, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like you do have to be like in the right place at the right time. Sometimes meet the right person.
Yeah.
Like it is a little bit of luck, but you know, I was still doing hard work. But you know, I was in the right place at the right time to be connected with all of you and meet lifelong friends. So
Ashley and Diego, you want to tell them how Flutie discovered you?
I actually
So-
know the answer to this one, but I want you to tell me.
Of course.
I speak with Liz sometimes.
I'm gonna,
I don't think I know this one.
It's funny.
Oh,
You're
of
gonna
course.
laugh, Liz or Reese.
So with ABC 30, they made a story. It was like a couple of years. Actually, no, was it a couple of years apart? Yeah,
25 years ago.
Yes. So 5 years ago, they made a story and it reached out to other parts of like ABC, kind of like partner stations. So then Flutie ends up running into that within her page. So of course, the funniest thing, which I didn't actually put this down onto the vlog, but because the marketing director, she stated to me that one of the videos, which it wasn't the most popular, but it was basically an audition form. So I made a DJ set where it's like it's for a little community, like no more than 20 people, and that was the audition to play FM. I'm like, what? That was it? Like, okay, that was just for fun, but okay.
Bro, the
I'll
version of the
take it.
story I heard was a lot less flattering. You want to know what it was? Real quick, it was literally basically Liz. I think she told me she was trying to find performers for Friendway, and she just went on Google and she searched autistic DJs, and you were the first that popped up.
What?
Yeah, that's what she told me. I think
Oh my god!
that's how she found that blog post.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Okay, that I did not know. No, that was crazy.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, with some luck that occurred right there. With some luck that occurred right there, and plus taking initiative even.
So basically what I wanted to say, what I wanted to get at with a lot of that is that all that's, great. We all have like that golden opportunity that just kind of happens, We always like, throw as many. It's like something my brother told me once that a famous hockey player said, I forget exactly who. It was something along the lines of you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Very true statement. I think with autism, it can be especially hard to put yourself out there. Even just like connecting with social groups or like meeting friends at school or study groups and stuff like that. Like that is a very, very difficult thing to do as is. That's just like saying hi to a friend, And I think what I wanted to know is that I guess from each of us in some way, shape, or form, how do you go from like that one kid who, wants to put himself out there, who wants to like share their word and like their art and their message and stuff? How do you go from that to literally where y'all's are at?
If anything, so I recall, especially for my cases, to where I get very nervous, and
Yeah.
I didn't think it was common. Apparently, it is common, and for many folks out there who don't know how to get to groups or is very isolated. Now, I understand that there's every single housing or even just a life situation is variable. Like it varies a lot. But the common thing that I was told, actually, not just by my parents, but also by professionals and even friends that I've gained along the way. And the common thing they've said is to take initiative and don't be afraid to speak out. And even though there is some fear to an extent to where you gotta need to overcome it, I believe that is the one hill that doesn't always get it doesn't always get crossed, or it doesn't get overcome by so many people. So by which this fear is more of like fear of missing out or fear of not liking the same person. But the truth is, we don't need to have the same, even though we may bleed the same color, we have different fingerprints. That's what makes us unique already. So there's nothing to be ashamed about when it comes to finding a friend. We don't need one that's going to be exactly all the same, but that makes it pointless because as a listener, think about this. Let this question sink in. You may think that you're this person, but another person is either next to you or from very far apart. It could range from like different personality traits to something completely the opposite.
Okay.
That's what makes it beautiful. We are just concepts.
Bro, I was going on and on about that with Reese last episode. It wasn't even funny. More people must understand that we're all just people.
Okay.
That's literally autism 101.
Yeah.
Everyone says that,
Absolutely.
like, autism has all these like angles, intricacies, complexities. At the end of the day, we're all just people. And that's a big part of the podcast that we're trying to push, is that each and every one of it's really that simple. But people don't realize that.
Individuality, like
Yeah.
individuality is a real big thing because not one person is the same. Not everybody can handle the same thing. Like everyone has to find their own way, their own path, because not one way works for everybody, and there's multiple different ways to get to wherever you want to go. So it's like there's not one path that works, and I think that is like I think that's something like with us. I feel like we all kind of like have an idea of like where we want to be, right? But it's like we don't have like the path. It's like walking to Antarctica. I was telling, I don't know who I was telling.
Mm.
It says like walking to Antarctica because like you know where you want to be, right? Antarctica. How are you gonna walk there? Yeah, I have no idea how you're gonna walk there. It's like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of like what we doing. We know where we want to be in life. It's like we're trying to figure out how to get there, but we have no idea how to get there. You know?
Yeah.
Someone can
journey,
make a
not
joke
the
for someone can
destination.
make a joke about it by saying like, just walk on a boat on a way to Antarctica. You basically walk there.
They're not wrong.
Yeah.
Go all the way like this until you get there.
And there
As
go-
long as you get there, right? You found a way. So
Yeah, as
you know.
long as you get there, then you shall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All we got to do
you
is
sound
get
way
to-
more nasally than Justin Bieber.
Bro, I thought that was Nico Fruits. They both turned into Stitch. Bro, I can't tell if it's Nico or Reese anymore. It's so
Man,
beautiful.
I was saying about saying different fingerprints. Now they both have the same voices. Dang
I
it.
know, they both became Stitch. It was beautiful.
I'm dead, Diego.
So beautiful. Bro, my cheeks are getting cramps.
Ay, ay, ay.
But yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you. Can you
Yeah.
do Krusty the Clown?
Can I do what?
Reese, I'm asking you a question, Reese. Can you do Krusty the Clown? Batman? Can you do Krusty the Clown?
Oh yeah, can you do Can you do Robin?
No,
I
I can't.
don't think so. I can only do like Stitch and Batman. I think those are my two.
Unfortunately,
I can kind of do SpongeBob, but I'm basically already there.
hey,
Today is a big
wanna
day,
talk-
Gary. Look at me. I'm naked. But see, I kind of already have that SpongeBob voice, so it just kind of works.
Yeah, you do.
But
I feel like
Could I
you're
do
like
that
an older SpongeBob, like a little older SpongeBob.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
When
that
he gets
season 1
old-
spot, season 2
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Okay, if I could ask Nickelodeon if I could substitute Gary, whoever plays that.
It's also Tom Kenny. He also does the voice of Gary. He does SpongeBob and Gary.
And a French announcer.
Oh yeah, that too.
2 hours later.
Oh yeah.
So much later, the old narrator got tired and they had to hire a new.
If you're gonna clip this video, make sure that people should tag Nickelodeon in the comments.
I know,
Yeah.
right? We're
Yeah.
cool. I'd be on SpongeBob in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But
And
the
then-
competition with even Universal, it's like I don't know if it's gonna be on or what.
I mean, to be honest, if like Nickelodeon dies,
The next Lego Batmans. We are the next Lego
beautiful.
Batmans.
Ultimate Lego
Okay, Reese.
Batman 2. Friends
Okay,
are
that
fans.
competition is Reese. No, I'm kidding. Much love.
But yeah. But before we close this out real quick, we never got to you, Nico. What advice do you have to people with autism who really do want to make that first push to really find themselves and again, purpose and identity really just make that push towards doing what they love and really finding themselves, that intrinsic factor. Like, how would you say I'm gonna find that intrinsic factor? I'm gonna walk to Antarctica. How are we walking to our Antarctica, Nico?
Oh boy, to walk into Antarctica, I really can't put that into one sentence.
You're gonna make me die from laughter, man.
How to walk into Antarctica, or as I like to put it, how to get over that mountain. Fear not. That's all I can say. Because, there is that fear of vulnerability that gets in the way, like Diego said. And I could piggyback on what Diego said earlier, but my way of putting it is that even though there may be moments where you feel like you're not enough, and there may be moments where you feel like inadequate. And I've been there too. So the only way that we could discover ourselves is to find our interests in the heart truthfully, even if it means define, or like, let's say, define gravity of society, define its
Define
rules,
societies. Perfectly
Yeah.
said.
and define such rules that society, or the pressure that society is trying to put on you.
Mhm.
It's a way to revolutionize what people can really have in their lives, even if it means like creating your own character, or let's say writing another book that has not been made before, and not so derivative of some well-known work before. So it's like this unique fingerprint right here, even just one tiny ident of it as such, that is where you'll get to create your own lane, and you'll find other people, and the right people will come along with you. Now, it may not be the people that you may want to be, because yeah, the reality strikes at times, but the people who are willing to walk along with you, those are the people that you need, and among yourself.
Really, that's truly inspiring stuff. Again, like literally looking at it from that lens of like where it was and how it, like where we're at, how it started, you know?
Right.
I think that's the most beautiful part. And it really just begins with you taking that first step to walk towards Antarctica, you know? And I
Yeah,
think
like that first post or that first,
Yeah.
like that first, whatever. Like we all started
Um,
with a first something, right? I remember when I released my first song on all platforms, and that was like actually through the Flutie Foundation. So like,
now you got
yeah,
like what, 100? Last I checked.
I got like almost 30.
Okay, close
Ooh.
enough.
30
Mm.
releases. But when I release my new 2 albums that are gonna come out, yeah, I'll probably have close to like double that, because those are gonna be projects. Yeah.
Ooh.
Bruh.
Okay.
New MBS content.
You heard it here
lots
first,
coming, lots
folks.
coming.
You heard
New
it here-
era.
The new era
Yeah,
of
yeah,
MBS.
end of this year into next year, new era, and
Let's
I'm gonna have
actually-
merch, and yeah. Oh, and let me tell you guys this before I
Oh.
forget. I'm doing my own artist camp. So I'm trying to promote it, and basically it's gonna be in Orlando, and I've already been a part of one before, so I'm taking his idea because he blew up off it, and he shot for like Black Bear and like a bunch of other people, and basically he stopped doing the retreats and stuff, and I want to keep doing it because I was only there for the last 2, and it was like that's what gave me like the edge that I have, like with the posting the content, doing the text hooks, like marketing myself the way I do, like, and just waking up every day and like having the consistency and posting the way I do and everything. It's like it started at those retreats. So I was telling Tom about it, and basically I'm getting like 6 other artists. I got already my homeboy who has his whole music company and everything. We're partnering, and we're gonna get a house near Disney as like a vacation house, and we're gonna rent it for a week or for
Whoa.
5 days. And
Okay.
yeah, so like it'll be like basically like the price of a hotel. It'll be like $100 a night. We're just trying to, or for the so it'll be like $500 for the whole week. We're just trying to, or for 5 days, and then every day would be structured and everything. And then we would be in that. You could bring your own music equipment. Everybody is welcome. Is encouraged to bring their own music equipment. And then like for those who don't have any music equipment, say that there's somebody that wants to lock in. That's just like starting out with music, they want to post everything on all platforms, whatever, like they'll be able to come and make a song and post it within the within the 5 days of being there, and make content to it and everything like that. And so that's my goal, is to try to do that quarterly. I'm also trying to even take it a step further and maybe do something where it's like sensory friendly and autism like inclusive for people who are like able to handle like some of those environments like us. You know what I mean?
Sounds like
But
a
yeah.
Wow.
great first step
Awesome,
towards
man.
Antarctica.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I love that.
That's
first step-
incredible.
We're still
That's
in Florida.
incredible, man.
I love working on projects. I love working on music. I like self-expression. I like performing. It's always, I think for me, my biggest hurdle is I don't give myself enough time to practice. I just kind of have other stuff I work on, and locking myself in a house, or not locking myself, but like retreating to a house rather for 5 days.
For sure.
Sounds like a good way to practice.
It's like working out with people, right? It's
Yeah.
like you get motivation when you do it. You're like, you encourage
Yeah.
each other and you build off each other's energy and everything like that. So
Iron
it's-
sharpening iron.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
I'm
And the
leaving all
thing
this in
about
the
it, too,
podcast,
is,
by the
like-
way. It's a good plug. But yeah.
Okay, for
Yes.
sure, yeah. And like the thing about it too is like, yeah, like you said, iron sharpening iron. It's like a learning thing where it's like, I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all. Like, let's all learn together. Let's all come together and we'll grind this out together. And I'll do like a class on like registering for sound exchange, and I'll use myself as the pilot or somebody else if I already do it before the time frame. So like, you know what I mean? So it's all about like building together for sure. This is it. Like anybody that's watching, like they see like this is the documentation of the idea, right? Like if it
Yeah.
works or if it fails, like we'll see.
Uh-huh.
This is,
It's our purpose and
Star-
identity.
yeah.
It's
Yes,
our
and
goal.
speaking
It's our
of-
mission. But
Yes,
yeah,
and
First
dude,
step to Antarctica.
thank you for sharing all
Yeah.
this with us. It's been great. I think in general, your stories, just literally the people who you are in your webcams with your setups, literally just sitting in your chair. That person in that image, these ones right here. The story should sell that
Aw.
enough. Literally, that's it. Like, literally, the story should like. You guys are
right?
NE10 and Nico Vargas. And the fact that we're talking about the things that we're talking about, that should show you that, like, regardless of like disability or status or like where you are in the world, you can do whatever you want. You can really do what you want in this world. And these two are proof of that. This podcast is proof of that. And I really, again, want to thank you for sharing the stories, because it really means a lot to the autism community that you guys get to just be Nico, Vargas, and NE10.
Yeah.
Just that
It means a
means-
lot to us too.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Y'all
you.
Y'all,
You have no
y'all
idea.
are y'all are
Hey,
amazing.
definitely. No, no, man, all of you are. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, thank you so much for having the two of us on. We really appreciate it.
Of course, man. Anytime. Really.
I'm NE10.
It's been really a privilege.
He's not just anyone. He's NE10.
Anytime. Vargas time, baby.
Vargas
Ah!
time. Vargas
Stop.
time's always pretty fun. I like to think so. Anytime.
Oh,
But yeah, man, it was a great talking to you guys, man.
Yeah.
And getting y'all's
thank
insight,
you.
perspective.
Uh,
For sure.
Of course,
Yeah.
man.
And for our
Of
viewers
course.
out there, we'd like to thank you for
Mhm.
watching this far. It's been a lot of fun recording today, and I hope you look forward to our next episode. I'm actually bringing my old mentor on for the next episode. which is going to be the
Ooh,
theme is
I
going to
forgot about
be.
that one.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that one.
we definitely got to talk about
Okay,
that once the
okay.
recording goes
Yep.
off. But my old
Dude.
mentor from my old program, Chris, he will be on the next episode where the theme is proper
Fire.
mentorship, where we're going to talk about what a good mentor should be for someone with autism.
Dude,
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited, dude.
I know, right?
Okay.
Excited, man. Hey, if you
Yeah.
don't know Chris, you're gonna get to know him.
He's actually
man.
a cool
Cool.
dude. He
One of the
almost
coolest.
platinumed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Ooh, that's
Oh.
crazy.
Apparently one of the hardest to platinum of all time. He almost did it. He's that good. He's that goated. It's so beautiful.
Oh, man.
Fire.
But yeah. But yeah. Anyways, tune in
Catch us next time.
when we
We're
break
gonna
Yes.
through
break
society
society.
once again.
Once again.
These homies.
Oh yeah.
Take care, everyone.
All right, take care, y'all.